In this video, you will learn how to build a great gaming PC. The PC is the largest single platform for games, with an annual worldwide revenue of about $11 billion. These are the list of items that you need. A computer case, a CPU, motherboard and I/O shield, RAM, video card, hard drive with pre-installed operating system, CPU cooler fan, power supply, monitor, keyboard, and mouse. The first thing you want to do is to remove the side panel by unscrewing the knobs with your finger. Then set the panel aside for now. Once the panel is open, you will find a bunch of wires connected to the case. For now, lay the case down sideways. Move the cables aside. You will install them in a later step. The first step is to prepare the case to accept your motherboard. A motherboard cannot be placed on a metal surface without it shorting out. That's why you need to install parts called standoffs. These standoffs will raise your motherboard above the surface of the case. Take the supplied standoffs and screw them into the holes in the case. Now look through your motherboard's packaging for the included I/O shield. This will be a piece of metal with lots of squares and holes in it. Take the shield and install it into the back of the case by pressing the corners in until you hear a click noise. Place the power supply inside the case at the top. Mount the power supply to the back of the case by using the screws included. Your case is now ready for the motherboard. Lay the case on its side and place the motherboard within, aligning the USB ports and other connectors by sliding them into the I/O shield you installed earlier. Once the motherboard is in place, screw down the board to the standoffs. Now it's time to install the CPU to the motherboard. Line up the CPU into the sockets by matching up the triangle on the bottom of the corner. Once you are sure the CPU is in place, lock it down with the handle. Now take the CPU cooler and place it on top of the CPU. Then fasten the cooler with the brackets provided. Make sure this is tight. This needs to have a solid connection to dissipate the heat coming from the CPU. Now it's time to give the motherboard some RAM. Take the two RAM sticks into the vertical strips next to the CPU cooler. Place both RAM sticks into the green slots. This way the RAM will run in dual mode and run faster. The next step is to install the video card. The video card will use the PCIe 16 slot. Just like in step 6, slide the video card into the back of the I/O shield. Press firmly down into the slot until it locks in with a click. Now take your hard drive and slide it into the metal case until the screw holes line up. Then fasten the hard drive with the screws provided. You're nearing the finish line. All you have to do now is to plug in all the devices you have installed. Start with your hard drive. Use the data cables provided and plug them into any available data port on the motherboard. Now take the front panel cables you put aside in step 2 and plug them into the motherboard. To do so, line up the front panel connector blocks with the motherboard pins as shown in the video. There will be several wires to connect. Each wire will be marked. Carefully connect each wire to its corresponding place on the motherboard. This computer is equipped with front USB ports. Connect the connectors on the motherboard where it says FUSB 1, FUSB 2, and FUSB 3. Now connect the video card. Use the supply cord and connect it to the back of the card. Connect the other end of the cord to any other connectors coming out of the power supply. Plug in your hard drives, with the connectors coming out of the power supply box. Connect the CPU cooler cord to the CFAN pins right next to the cooler. Now connect all the power connectors that are left over. Make sure they all fit snug, but do not force them in. It might be a good idea to mark them with letters as seen in the video. This will help you if you ever need to dismantle the case in the future. Last but not least, breathe some life into your motherboard by connecting the power box. First, connect the 4-pin power cord to the motherboard where it says PWR12V. Then connect the 24-pin to the motherboard to the right of the CPU where it's marked 24. Now you're ready to close up your computer and enjoy. And now let's recap all of the steps. Remove side panel. Set aside wires in case. Install standoff pins. Install I/O shield. Mount power supply. Install motherboard. Install CPU. Install CPU cooler. Install RAM. Install video card. Install hard drive. Connect your hard drives. Plug in USB wires. Plug in front panel wires. Plug in your CPU cooler fan. Plug in video card. Plug in your hard drives. Connect all remaining power cords. Connect power to the motherboard. Close up computer and enjoy. That's all there is to it. You have now set up the ultimate gaming PC experience. Now go and play World of Warcraft. Join the Alliance and battle against the evil horde. Just remember to leave your sword in the game when you get back to reality.